And the ape stood and became man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Fade in.
Vaginas in the rain.
Funny, she doesn't look Jewish.
I am McLovin.
What is he doing? Come on, man.
That's a big Twinkie.
Is this some kind of bust?
Well, it's very impressive, yes, but we need to ask you a few questions.
God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day.
Yeah, you fucking.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious.
You know what your problem is? You're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
That's the second time I've heard that. What is the pussy on a pedestal thing?
Shit.
Yup.
Prepare ship for ludicrous speed.
Papyrus. Rolling papyrus.
Be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes!
I did that whole thing muted. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to MadBarber. Please, and thank you guys for being here. Thank Gap Stargate, Keely Chow. Good to see you. Dude, I'm boomering and stuff. I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm still boomering shit. What's up? Runner Blaze, good to see you, man. Yeah, no one tell me. That would be great. That would have been great. And the thing is that like there was a phone call right in the middle of that, so I actually muted that. So I meant for that to happen. Swear to God. What's going on, Steven Salcido? Hail to you. Thank you for being here. Another great channel in the community. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, I figured that out. That's a great boomer moment for me. I never find. I always find new ways to get embarrassed doing what I do. And I don't even need to take my shirt off anymore, guys. Appreciate you being here. I know some of you are small channels, up and coming channels, or popular channels, or whatever you want to describe yourself as. You know the grind. You know what it takes to have to work and make your channel known. What is the work that it goes into it, the different collaborations, the different people that you have to bring together in order to make a channel successful. And I'm all about seeing that everyone in this community get to a point of monetization. I want to see that happen. I want to see our independent voices being out there, being shown, being known loud and proud. That's what we do. Hail to Yeti Cast. Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Another great person in the community. Please subscribe to Yeti Cast. Dega Outlaws out there. What's up, Dega? Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping through. Without further ado, we're going to talk to my guest who's going to do most of the talking this evening. Guys, please welcome Mad Morgan. You laughing at me? I know.
I was sitting here. I was like, oh, God, no one tell him. But, of course, Runner immediately is like, hey, buddy.
Runner likes me.
Yeah.
Sherry gave you a shout out, too.
You know what happens, right? It's because it automatically mutes you when you do it. I don't know why I'm having to tell you this, guy. You've been on here for 12 years.
I know.
It mutes you when you play a video.
No, I just keep finding new ways to screw up.
It's the same way, bro. You do it every time.
Every single day. You know what? The last 2 times I've done that. You're right. You're absolutely right. So,
yeah, it's the same.
Thank you so much.
Though.
Thank you so much for being here, brother. I appreciate
appreciate
you taking the time to come on the interview.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I had to move some things around, but I'm here.
He was waiting for a half hour for me. He was ready.
Yeah, because I'm polite. 15 minutes prior, like, yeah, I would have been here. Hey, Wookie.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Wook? Good to see you. Quickstand Kickstand. Got a new channel out there. Please subscribe to Wookie's new channel. It's Wookie's Supremacy. For those of you who don't know, what's up, dude? Thank you for being here.
You're a Quicksand fan, right?
I mean,
I just feel like that's you.
I've never been in Quicksand.
No, I mean the porn.
The porn?
Yeah, not actually in quick. I don't think of you like, we're going to get in some quicksand tonight.
Is that a porn thing?
Yeah. Bro, you never watched quicksand porn?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Do yourself the favor, man.
Really? All right. I'm going to check that out.
Well, yeah, sure.
And I'm going to send you a message and let you know what I think.
I'm pretty sure you can find somewhere they're throwing branches. I know that's your thing. Like,
that is a scurrilous
try to get
lie.
the chicks out.
Yeah, that's a scurrilous lie.
I mean, well, look, dude, like you're known. You know, I mean, would you rather be known for banging trees or for the enema?
Neither.
You got to embrace it, dude. Just
I have to
go into it.
I should have. You know what? John Talks was telling me a long time. I should have listened to him. I should have started selling coffee brands when the whole enema thing was happening. He said you're missing out on an opportunity. It's like another lesson learned, man. You know, you like as I started going. This isn't my interview, but as I started going through the different years and seeing what other people were doing and what worked and what didn't, and I remember all the advice I was given and never took. I should have took every bit of advice the drunk 3PO gave me in the very beginning. I never did.
Well, I mean, that's how it always is. It's always retroactive like that. Like whenever, like all throughout our lives, you'll have somebody be like, oh, you know, make sure that you enjoy these times because, you know, whether you're in college or playing sports or whatever it was that you're supposed to be enjoying, and people are like, you got to really, really enjoy it. You're going to miss these days. You're like, yeah, I got it. Right. And then later on, you're like, damn, why did I listen to that dude? He was right. I should have enjoyed it. And then you're going to be like, hey, guy coming up after me, really enjoy it. No, I know what you're going to say. I said the same thing, but you need to do it. And they're going to do the same thing. They're like, yeah, I got it. It's just a process, but it's necessary for growth. You have to, you know, go through these cycles and go through these different areas in life so that you can appreciate what you had, because most of it is retroactive. I mean, what do they say about love, right? It's I never knew I needed you until I met you. And now that I have, I know I've always needed you.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, dig it, man, dig it. Guys out there, please share the link out and subscribe to Mad Morgan if you are not subscribed to him already. Share out links for his channel on all your social media if you wouldn't mind. Let's dive right into it, Mad. So I see that you do hosting on the Sporking News Podcast Wednesday show. How did you come about doing that?
I kept showing up, and he never stopped inviting me, and I mean, I started this bit. It works everywhere. I would just start calling myself the co-host. Like I would just put it in next to my name, just put co-host, and people just went with it. Eventually, like when Scott, you know, couldn't be there for his show, he was like, hey, you know, you host. And by hosting, I have no power. Right? I can't share anything with the screen. I can't do anything but sit there and just like, I guess, just keep it going. And that's it. But yeah. And
the chat loves being playful with those types of things. You know, they love they love it when we're combative with each other. People are combative. Yeah. You know, I mean, well, of course it's all play. What inspired you to begin your YouTube channel, Matt?
People being stupid.
Yeah.
People being not stupid. People just like being wrong about things. I'm like, no, that's not right. You're wrong. No, I need to be on there to tell you how wrong you are, but I can't do that. So fuck it. I'm going to work my way up to you, and you know who you are, and I'm coming. I haven't made it there yet, but I'm on my way.
Right. Do you have a goal?
Don't know who they are. Huh?
Do you have a goal? Like, are you trying to get, you know, into the tens of thousands? Are you trying to grow your channel, or just
Not at all, dude. I'm just having fun, man. I enjoy, like, I have all these ideas that I'll try every once in a while, like the bespoke. Oh, it's half real and it's half like kind of being put on, you know what I mean? But I really don't know what they're gonna send me. And when they send me shit, it's just I got some of it here. Look, bro. Like the last video I did was when I got a banner that just says explore.
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to do with this? Who wants this? They sent this to me.
Your fans?
No, this is from Bespoke. I pay them money to send me shit I don't want. No. Oh, it's dumb. Anyway, but yeah. So I thought that would be a good idea. And it's miserable every month. And then I did the Matchplanation, the Animal Kingdom one with I did pandas. And then I did rhinos, and it's just me spitting out nonsense with no, like, I don't even call it a rhino. I call it a rhinosaur. Mm-hmm. Like it's an ancient dinosaur that survived. And then I just end up talking about how it has an itchy dick for like most of the video.
All right.
Because I just found these videos of just rubbing his dick on things like a rock and like a stump. How can I not just talk about that for like 10 minutes? And I did. And then George, George the Giant Slayer, this dude, he was hanging out with his nephews and nieces and showed them one of my animal videos. He's like, I had no idea. I was like, no, do you not know who I am at all? And I was like, why would you do that?
George is so innocent, man.
Yeah, so now there's a restraining order. No. Yeah, so, and I got a couple new ideas that we got some things we're working on. Some voiceover work that we're going to do, kind of like MXC back in the day. You know what we're talking about? What I'm talking about?
No.
MXC, dude. It was they took this Japanese game show that was absurd and they just did a voiceover. So the two American guys just, ripping on it and just talking like as if they're the host. And it was great. So we're trying to do that with some wrestling and some other things like that.
Nice.
So we got that in the works. And yeah, and I think I'm gonna move on from animals because like I just don't want to. All I end up doing is talking about their testicles for like the entire video.
How do you get anything better than the rhino dick experience?
Right? Yeah, it really did cap me. Yeah. I don't get eliminated. See, Soul Assassin knows that's my chatimal. No, but so I'm thinking about doing ghost houses or like ghost stories, right? In the same way, not knowing a damn thing and just making up nonsense as I go along.
Right.
Because I enjoy it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I enjoy the hell out of those. But yeah, so stuff like that. I have no plan. I've never made a Star Wars video, which is really awkward since, I was trying to be a part of the Phantom Menace, but I don't give a shit about making a Star Wars video.
Right.
I had a couple ideas that but I didn't care enough to make one of those. Like that's not my thing. That's not,
Mm-hmm.
So
who do you most enjoy working with, or who do you work with in the community?
I mean, the MadBarber boys. We got Kip, we got Culture, my boy Barber, and we got Mr. Grant Gregory, who's the latest one, and somebody Harry Yeti, that guy. Yeah, those are the guys. We have a lot of fun doing street smarts, and working on different things and trying to make Yeti seem funny in all of his videos by writing a script.
There was I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There was an issue with street smarts when you first started doing that, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was dumb. It was freaking. So I don't know how many episodes we were in. We were in pretty deep, but like we got claimed by WB for the name Street Smarts. No footage or anything, just the name. Because the name is, they had a game show, and I don't know if you remember that. I do. It came on in like the early 2000s called Street Smarts, and I think it was like, I guess remember trash cans, and they'd ask people. It was kind of like Family Feud, right? They would ask people on the streets like, how many presidents were racist or whatever question would be. And then like the contestants would be like, I think he got it right, or I think whatever it was, right? It came on like 2 a.m. in the morning on the WB. And I remember just from like playing in the background as I'm like, drunk off my ass in college. But yeah, apparently they claimed our name, so that's why we had to change the name to Street Smarts.
You couldn't fight it or anything?
Oh no, we had 2 strikes for multiple videos, not all of them for whatever reason, but multiple videos. We got 2 strikes, and it was from that Ben Dover guy, Ben Dover, real name, not making that. That's his name. He works for WB. And so I sent him an email. He didn't respond. So I went to YouTube. I was like, no. So they're like, okay, they have 10 days to take you to court. Guess what happened? They didn't take me to court because it's a dumb thing. I don't understand how they're able to make claims like that, but without providing any type of evidence. No clip. Because normally if you get claimed like that, right, they'll have a clip like between, a minute 30 and a minute 42, you used our footage.
Right.
They didn't have to do that. All they did was, I guess they just do a search and they're like, oh, Street Smarts, that's our thing. Not even going to press play on it and then just claim it.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much of a headache is that as a creator to
it was only the one time with the strikes. I mean, we get claimed every week though, because I don't care. I don't care. So I'll use music, like real music, whatever I want, I will use, because I am more about like having it the way I want it, as close as I can get under YouTube. without worrying about like, oh no, this one's gonna get claimed. Like that, I think that's a good thing about not being monetized. Is like I don't have to worry about that, which I doubt I would anyways. But yeah, just being able to actually use, like we get taken down a lot because they won't let me watch certain things. Like they didn't let us watch the Garbage Pail Kids.
The what?
Which, yeah. Like, man,
who watches the Garbage Pail Kids? They should have. I should have advertised.
Have you seen the movie? Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I saw years ago. Yeah, man.
They wouldn't let us watch Rowdy Piper's movie. Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, right. They wouldn't let. Oh man, but they let us watch Tammy and the T-Rex. So that was nice. And Neil Breen, we watched all of his movies. We may go back through it because I'm running out of shit to play on there. But,
do you have another show, the OC Boys, don't you?
We did. Scott. No, well, because Scott. So what happened was I think it was our third episode. Neither one of us had actually watched the episode we were supposed to. So then we made promises of like, no, next week we're really gonna watch it. So 3 months later, we're like, yeah, we're gonna get back to it. We just, you know what I mean? Because he only has like 2 days he's allowed to stream.
Wow.
And then so like we were doing it Saturday after his after the dump. But he's tired because he has to wake up at like 2 a.m. to go do whatever he does. I don't know what he does for work. I'm not going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I got in trouble one time.
Hail to the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Culture Casino. What's up, dude? Good to see you, brother. Zach is here with us. What's up? Science Fiction Audiobooks. Please subscribe to all these wonderful channels in the chat. Thank you for being here, Zach. Appreciate you. Hail Soul Assassin. Good to see you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Share out the link, smash the like, and guys, if you have not, please subscribe to MadBarber Entertainment. Mad, so I know that you were you're a war veteran. You've I've heard a lot of the stories that you've told. Is it difficult for you at all to talk about any of that time with strangers on the internet?
No, not really. No, nothing that happened to me. I never have a problem talking about that. But so April 20th was my fireversary, was actually the day that we got hit. Mm-hmm. And so I'm good with all that. But when it comes to like Brandon, that will choke me up. That was my brother, and he died May 12th after from, the injuries that we got blown up. So talking about him's tough, but anything to do with me, nah, I don't. I'm well past that, and I think it's because I have talked about it so much that it just makes it easier, like the more you acknowledge something painful, especially, and the more you just like are able to talk about it, the easier it gets to talk about it, and so with time you're able to not move on or not like put it aside, but allow it to become a part of you because it already was and it always will be, but just acknowledging that it is there helps not have it hurt as much. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Have you do you work with any other veterans? Do you talk or
here and there? I'll talk to some MVP Max. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy. I've talked to him a few times. And Shellback, yeah, another veteran I've talked to. But now for the most part, like I haven't talked to a lot of veterans on here at all.
Gotcha.
Like really, nothing too intense, I guess.
Yeah. So I know you went from being in the military to being a police officer for a time.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, so yeah, I was getting ready to medically retire and needed a job, and I put my application in whatever, and got picked up, and it worked out because of the burns, I can't regulate my body temperature. So like the heat is a real big issue for me, but luckily I was able to go to the academy in the fall. So that was nice. And then I worked nights as well. So it still get really hot in the summer with body armor on and stuff, but it was manageable, like God forbid on an August night, you have me get out my car. You're like, I'm going to lose my shit on you. You know what I mean? It's hot as shit. You're making me get out the car anyway. But,
Officer man.
Yeah. it was a natural fit for me. Like I guess I used to refer to myself as natural police, like in The Wire. And in QB1, I would call myself QB1 because, and I'm being honest, like in all honesty, I knew my job very well. I studied case law all the time, man. Every time something would happen, like Grant versus Arizona, when that busted, I was the first one on. And that's just about like how you could take a dude out, put him in handcuffs, and then search the wingspan from where he was sitting for officer safety. But then somebody was like, hey, but if they're in handcuffs in the back of your car, what could they reach that would be a danger? And they're like, all right, fine, we can't do that anymore. So you would have, you know what I mean? But they don't just come out and tell you. There's not a briefing on this a lot of times. So you really got to go out and got to look for your own stuff. And I don't know if you've been aware of policing lately, but it's really good to know your own shit. Like, because they are not going to help you. Management, and no, if something happens, they need to throw somebody under the bus, it's going to be you well before it's going to be them. Wow. So you need to make sure that you know what you're doing, and you can be like, no, this is why I did what I did. Which, double-edged sword, I wasn't the most popular guy with management. I had a few run-ins with the chief of police.
Really?
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
Well, he was an idiot.
Any stories you could tell us about?
Yeah, I'll tell you one. Listen, man, it's shocking. This is what happened, right? We were in training, and we were in the training. It was admin training anyway, so we're not like, you know what I mean? We're just sitting here in this big, like it has all the computers and the little microphones and stuff. Like, we're going to talk in this shit, and then you get the presenter down at the bottom, right? Like an auditorium almost, right? And then they're like, hey, the chief is having a meeting in here with everybody, so we need all y'all to leave. So we all left. And then they said, hey, the chief wants all y'all to be there too. So I said, hey, does he know I'm here? And he's like, yeah, he wants you there. Okay, because we've already had, right? So anyway, So I'm in there, and he starts griping about the percentage of our cases that are being kicked from the prosecutor's office, right? Like, they're kicking them, right? And he's putting it all on us. And it was some absurd percentage that he said. So when Q&A came up, I said, hey, I was like, you guys, like, you say that they're being kicked because of us, but like at no point since I've been here, and I was like 2.5, maybe 3 years in, right? Has anyone from their office or yours came down to explain to us what we're doing wrong that is having these cases to be kicked at such a high rate? We don't want our work to be, for nothing. So tell us what we're doing wrong and we'll fix it. And he goes, that's a good question. And then walked out the room. And I'm still standing there. And then the desk lieutenant that was next to me, he goes, maybe you want to go get the answer. And we just kept sitting there. And then finally our patrol captain was like, that's it. Y'all can go now. He never came back. And then sure shit, the next night that I worked, my patrol, who was new patrol lieutenant, he calls me to 2-6 with him, right? Like to go meet up with him. And he's like, oh man, he's like, I heard what happened with you and the chief. I'm like, oh, did he give you the answer to give to me? Is that why you're calling? That's
great.
Yeah, he didn't like me either. Anyway.
So a lot of shame, a lot of shifting the blame around there.
Well, so he's like, oh man, you got that spotlight on you now. I'm like, oh, like, should I be worried about some type of reprisal? Do I need a union representative to be here for this conversation? He's like, no, man, don't twist my words. I'm like, those are your words. I'm just saying your words.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? You're telling me the spotlight's on me. He's like, you just got to be careful, about what you say. I'm like, he goes, it was a legitimate question. Then what are we doing talking? If you're telling me it's a legitimate question, why are you having this? You need to watch your back and, talk right now. Mm-hmm. And he just got frustrated and laughed. But yeah.
So you pay attention to the words that are coming out of people's mouths.
I do, because I remember when there was this survey done, or this study done on the amount of groupings at college or whatever, and it was like 9 out of 10 women, blah blah blah, and like 3 out of 4 men are grapists, right? And so I raised my hand and I'm like, I don't think that's true, because that would mean at least like 75% of the people in here are grapists. And the dude goes, yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay. This doesn't seem right, because like they're going over it. I'm like, wait, but they're counting the ones that go unreported. So how do we know that it actually happened if it's not being reported, but it's being reported to people that are asking if it happens? that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get it. You know, sometimes people won't come forward if something happens, but you can't count that in your data as if it happened.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Blew my freaking mind. Yeah,
that doesn't
things like that. Yeah.
So what happened to you? And as far as the burn, as far as your disability, what was that? What happened to you?
We got blown up, bro. I got caught on fire. No, so basically what happened was we were doing a joint raid with the National Police, right? And we had been going to their compound like 2 or 3 days leading up to April 20th. And I woke up that morning, April 20th. I woke up, right? Because this was the day that we were actually going to do the raid. And I felt sick to my stomach. Like I couldn't smoke. I couldn't dip. I was just, ugh. And I remember we're there. And so we were having to take out the Bradley. I hated taking out the Bradley because it was a big piece of shit. Huh?
I don't blame you.
Yeah, have you ever seen?
I saw the movie
Pentagon Wars. Yeah. It's not better now, but that's what I was in that day. And I was driving, and we were the lead vehicle. And I knew our AO like the back of my hand, right? And so our staff sergeant that was in like charge that day, right? He's going over the route, and I said, "Hey, sergeant, man, like we've been going the same way for like 3 days," and I gave him an alternate route. Like, look, we take this way, we'll be there probably 5-10 minutes early. But like instead of going, he's like, no, we're gonna go this way. I was like, sorry, I got a real bad feeling about this one. Like I really do think we need, and he just starts yelling at me. So then I'm like, well then fuck it, we get blown up. That's on you, motherfucker. And thank God we got blown up. I was gonna be in so much trouble if we got back. Oh, I should mention, I didn't tell this to the guys until probably a year after we got blown up, but about a week prior, we were there was this idea with this car bomber that we found. It was outside of a mosque. We call EOD. EOD gets there and they pull it out from the mosque so it wouldn't blow at the mosque. They didn't pull it far enough, and so it blew up half the mosque, like half the wall of the mosque. So we had to sit out there waiting for the engineers to come in to rebuild it. And as we're there, I happened upon like a flag, one of their flags, like the Arabic writing on it, right? I didn't know what it said. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll put this in the Bradley and, take it back, right? It was like, it was black with the yellow writing. I was like, that's cool. And then this dude Barnes, he goes, hey man, that's cursed, right? I'm like, what? So yeah, dude, it's like their tombstone is cursed. I'm like, that's not true. Really? He goes, how the fuck should I know? I can't read that shit. So he was just messing with me. So I put it in the Bradley. But a week later, we got blown up the next time we took the Bradley out. I'm not saying there's a connection, but I'm just saying maybe.
That's odd.
Right? Wow. But anyway, yeah, so we start rolling that morning, and we tried to change up the route as much as we could because we called over the radio once again to ask if we could do it. We got yelled at again over the radio for asking if we could change it. But yeah, so we hit Arrows, was like a major road, like two lanes of traffic each way, right? And so we cut it. We turned on it straight, came back around, and then did a loop to go west. And then next thing I knew, I opened my eyes. I'm on fire, just engulfed in flames in the vehicle. God. Yeah, because the explosion, when it happened, it went underneath the side skirt of the Bradley and hit the fuel cell, lit the whole thing on fire. Right. By the time that it was done burning, it was split in half. Like the turret melted all the way down. They had to get two of their big 88 mics, the tow trucks for these vehicles, had to get two of them to get that thing out of there. Oh my God. But anyway, so yeah, when we got hit, it knocked me out. And when I came to, I'm just on fire in it. And there's no audio. Like I had no comms with anyone, and couldn't hear anything but my own voice. And I tried to lower the ramp because we had two guys in the back, but the ramp wouldn't go down. It eventually just fell, but I got it off the hinges, but there was no power to get the hydraulic things to let it lower. And then I popped open my hood, got out, and I'm on the front of the vehicle. I didn't know that it was still moving when I woke up, but it was still moving. So I'm on the front of this thing on fire. I jumped down. The thing's coming towards me. I threw off my Kevlar, and I was listening to MP3 player. And this is how horrible I was. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I threw out the earpiece. First thing I did was I threw out the earpiece. I didn't want to get caught listening to it.
Right. Okay.
First thought was like, don't want to get caught.
Priorities.
Yeah. Throw out the Kevlar, throw off the IBES, and I'm still burning. And I remember like the Bradley was coming towards me. I was like, I could lay down and let it roll over me and I'll be fine. Or I could try to roll out the way because I'm on fire. I don't want to be on fire. So I rolled out the way. It barely missed me. And so there in the medium, there's some dirt. So I put myself out and we started getting shot at. I went, grabbed the shotty from one of the Humvees, laid down rounds. And then we got Brandon. Brandon fell from the top eventually. He was burnt 80 something percent. Like we had to get a fire extinguisher and all that was left was his boots, And so we loaded up, man, and we popped smoke, got out of there. I remember rolling to the cache at the green zone, is where we're heading. And I remember Sergeant Malone, I don't give a fuck. I'll say his name because he's a piece of shit. This motherfucker was our platoon sergeant that just happened to come out with us that day because we needed another vehicle. And this dude never got out of his fucking vehicle the whole time while all this was going on. We're grabbing bodies and shit. You know what I mean? We're getting shot at. This dude sat in the fucking vehicle. Fuck him. He got relieved after that. Piece of shit. Anyway, no hard feelings though. But I remember rolling, and I don't know what was said to him on the radio because he was talking to the squadron. All I heard him say, what? Fuck no, we didn't leave nobody with a vehicle. These assholes asked if we left someone to guard the vehicle as it burnt while we rolled to the... Yeah, dude. They shady, man. Military don't give a fuck. They care about their money and their equipment because that Bradley is a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment, not to include all the ammunition, blah, 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 in it,
Right.
Because when I was at the hospital, I had some cats roll in, and when I was in the burn clinic at Fort Sam, like when you go in, you had to be covered up completely, right? Mask and the hat thing and gloves. So you can't tell who's who. But anyway, one night I woke up and there's these people, like 3 or 4 people around me, and they're like, why aren't your hands burnt? And like, well, my hands aren't burnt, but I don't know if you can make it out. It's probably too much light on it. But I have like a little bitty burn on my hand. That was it. And they're like, why aren't your hands burnt? Were you wearing gloves? I was like, no. And then they were like, why didn't you pull the halon system? I was like, because I was on fucking fire.
Right.
And they're like, do you want that to be your statement? Am I giving a statement? Yes. I was like, I didn't pull the halon system because I didn't know who was in the vehicle and who wasn't, and it could have been dangerous for anybody in the vehicle. Plus, I was on fucking fire. I was I was done. Right. When flame hit skin, the whole army thing, I was done with. I didn't give a shit. I was an asshole all through that process. Did not care. But yeah, so that's what they cared more about was that, dude, when we were at the hospital, our first sergeant came to us and he goes, hey, don't worry about any of your gear. All of us being field loss, right? They're just going to write it all off. So you don't have to worry about any of it. Cool. What I had some things like my personal things sent home from Baghdad. And then whatever gear that we had, because we had it in the Bradley and the Humvee in our room, like it was everywhere, Yeah. But whatever they had, they sent to our squadron back at Fort Hood. And they put it in the closet with like the weed whacker and the lawnmower. And so these guys that were at Fort Hood on Rear D that didn't deploy, they went through all of our stuff and took whatever they wanted. So when I get to Hood, all I get is a sleeping bag. That's all they give me back. So when I go to process out, because I'm getting medically retired. So when I'm processing out, I go to the equipment people or whatever, whatever it was called. Anyway, and so I give him the sleeping bag. I think I'm being a good guy. Like I didn't have to turn this in. And he goes, yeah, man, you're missing like everything. Like, what are you talking about? It's all been, no. He's like, and he gave me it's like pages and pages of gear that I was, wow. And I'm like, no. So then there was a whole investigation to see what was lost, what wasn't lost, what I'm responsible. I had to pay $600 out of my own pocket.
What?
Yeah. $600 in my own pocket just to be able to get the fuck out of Hood to go back to Fort Sam to medically retire.
That is unbelievable. Yeah,
dirty.
That's
right.
I mean, why would those things have been taken by someone else?
Why wouldn't it be? You need extra things. Like what if you lose it and then when you go to turn it in, you don't want to have to pay $600. So if you see free stuff just hanging out there, take it.
Damn. Wow. That's what is it like? What was it like for you returning back to civilian life after being medically retired?
It was different though, because like I was injured. I was in the hospital, and then I had to have my parents with me because I still had a lot of wound care that had to be done for months. I had another surgery, And so like it was a different transition, I guess, than normal, than typical. You know, you get off the plane, your family's there, and now you're back into it. Like, so mine, I guess, wasn't as difficult in that sense because there was so much going on top of being back. Like the whole, there's a trash bag on the side of the road. Oh, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have that because like I want to boost my nerd credit a little bit. The first thing I did when I got out of the hospital was I had my stepmom take me to GameStop to buy an Xbox 360. So I'm a nerd, people. Not thinking I'm a nerd, but yeah, that's the first thing I did. And
I don't blame you.
my cousin and his parents, they came down to Fort Sam to visit me, and they got me a game for the Xbox 360, right? Because they heard that I got it and I like it. And they got me Ghost Recon Advanced Warrior. I think it was the second one. And because it was a very popular game. And so I put it in, and it starts off and you're doing your training, like, all right, this is how you shoot, this is how you move, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Now take this AT4, it's a rocket launcher, and blow up that Bradley. And so it did it, and it's just there on fire. And I was like, I told my dad, I was like, put Tiger Woods back in. Like, I don't think this is, yeah, I didn't play that game for a minute. It's a good game though, but I played like months later. But yeah, it was definitely not the first game I should have had.
Yeah. My God, man. I mean, what kind of like how was your transition from going through like traumatic experiences that I mean most people don't really go through, you know, my combat situations and then having to go through almost dying basically. How was that for you? I mean,
a lot of drinking.
Yeah.
A lot of drinking. I had a keg in my barracks room. And yeah, we like at COB at Close of Business, man, we'd grab it and take it outside, and all of us burnt and broken people would just be out there just drinking our asses off every day. It was a different time. Like they weren't so regulated on how we were treated, so we got away with we ruined it for everyone after us. Like we didn't have to like show up for formations. All we had to do was call and just be like, oh, I couldn't sleep, PTSD, bye, and just on an answer machine. That's all you had to do. Like 3 in the morning, you just call and be like, oh, my PTSD, not gonna make it a formation, bye, and that's it. They were cool with it. Like because like everybody that was in charge of you was wounded too. So to get anything done, you would have to track them down at their appointments to get stuff done. Right. So nobody cared about anything. It was just the Wild West. They give you tons of drugs. People would be having pill parties in the barracks, like switching out pills. Like I'll give you 2 purples for a blue or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I sold most of mine, like because my stepmom was a nurse, like but like an Uber nurse, like. You know what I mean? Like nothing against nurses, like there's levels to it. She was, like a head nurse. But she like minimized how much of the painkillers and stuff that I was allowed to take, because I was on Dilaudid, Percocet, methadone. They gave me fentanyl pops, like fentanyl, but in a lollipop that you rub against your cheek. Those made me sick. I gave them back because a ton of drugs. And she was like, nope, we're cutting all this shit down to bare minimum. Good. And I was in a lot more pain, but I wasn't addicted. Methadone, that shit still hooked me. I was down to a quarter of a pill a day, and when I ran out, it was 3 days of like Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio, just like, you know what I mean? Without, you know, the gay sex part. Like just, that came before. But no, yeah, so I lucked out on that, having her to be, you know, to be there to moderate how much I actually, you know, took, so I didn't get that part of the recovery that everybody else had, you know. So I got to sell my shit. But
what surgeries did you have to have? Like how long?
Well, so originally, yeah, you had the skin grafts. It's done differently now. Like now, it's nothing. Like, but for me, like they took skin from like all 3 sides of my thighs, both thighs. Upper back that wasn't burnt, and like my chest that wasn't burnt, but like half of it was burnt. But they took, and then they put it on there, and then for the donor sites, they take gauze and they soak it in some kind of thing, and then they just staple it right to you, right? And then they have heat lamps on you, because if it doesn't dry, it will become a burn itself. So, right? So you have these heat lamps, and I remember like the nurse came in with this kid, because it's also a training hospital. But anyway, they come in and she's like, all right, we're going to start taking out the staples, right? And mind you, this is after you're off morphine. And they don't just take it out, they snap it in half and they take out each prong individually. And I'm like, cool. What is he doing here? And she's like, oh, he's going to be the one that's going to be, taking him out. I'm like, he's not fucking touching me. He hasn't said a word. I don't even know if he speaks English. He was Asian. Look, I was an asshole. I was in a lot of pain. I was like, I don't even know if he speaks fucking English. He's not touching me. So the kid took out like 200 fucking staples until I had enough. I was like, I can't do anymore. So they came back and did more. And then my dad would still finding them in my back, like days later.
My God, man.
Yeah.
That is intense.
So that was the initial. And then under my left arm, because it's burnt from like my elbow all the way down my side. And it was burned really bad and had a burn band. Now, mind you, my shoulder was also dislocated, but relocated halfway during the blast because like I bounced off some shit. They didn't even know about that. But I couldn't lift my arm more than just like this. And so they had to go in, they had to cut out a lot of the burn stuff underneath it and then do another graft on top of that so that I could be able to get most of my movement back. But yeah, and then they had to go and do another thing similar to that again because the first one didn't take, so they had to do it again. Yeah. But
do you have like any advice for anybody who may have to go through a similar
don't get burnt.
Don't get burnt.
Kids, it's not fun. I know you're like, oh, that sounds awesome. Don't get burnt. Advice. I don't know, dude. Like,
I imagine that like me psychologically, emotionally.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. There was a dude. I don't know if you ever seen. His name's Joe Martinez. He was on Days of Our Lives, and he won Dancing with the Stars. Like, guy, complete burnt face, right? Yeah. He won Dancing with the Stars, which, by the way, I think is bullshit because no one's going to vote against a guy without a face that went to war. You know what I mean? Like, fuck him. But no, listen. So, yeah, I got back from Brandon's funeral and I was just angry at the world. And I yelled at him one day because, like, they would be stretching my arm and just like over and over again. And then he would come in with his fentanyl pop because everything's rainbows and unicorns with skittle covered shit, Right. Like just the happiest dude you've ever imagined. And I asked him why he was so happy because he doesn't have a fucking face. And no, he was like, look, man, it doesn't matter how much hate you have or how angry you get. When we wake up tomorrow, our brothers will still be dead and our scars will still be here. Like, lace your shit up and move the fuck out, And so I was, fuck you, guy. And but the more I thought about it, it just ate away at me, the whole idea of like, it doesn't matter. Really, like, I mean, I want to be so angry. I want to hate everything, but it's not going to fix. It's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix the scars. It's not going to bring Brandon back or any of the other guys that we lost. It's just there. And the sooner you're able to recognize that and to embrace it, not just like, not just like acknowledge it, but embrace it. There's a difference between, yes, I'm this, I'm that. Yes, I'm burnt. Yes, I can't do these things. Yes, I lost these guys. There's a difference between acknowledging it and embracing it. To embrace it is to make it a part of you and a part of your story, because it is. Whether or not you like it, it is a part of you and your story. And it's not always a bad thing because like our identities are forged through the bad times, not the good times. That is what determines who you are in the long run. Andrew Solomon, he said, we could be ourselves without all the delights and the happiness, but not without, those things that pain us, that trouble us. To do it, like to do away with the dragon is to banish your hero, because you have to have it.
Right. So. Thank you for sharing that with me, brother. Yeah. Tell me, who's Mad Mardigan as a teenager? Who were you
as a teenager?
Yeah.
Man, hold on. Let me get something to drink. But by the way, this was me in the hospital.
Wow, that is my God, brother. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. But as a teenager, I think a lot like what I am on YouTube, except not like, I don't know, like I didn't care for class. I know that shit always got in the way. Like I went to a small school. I graduated with 140 people, and that was like 7 towns combined to get to 140. Lord. Yeah, it was a small school, so like everybody from in like all 4 grades in high school or whatever. I loved the ladies. They got me in more trouble than they got me in trouble most of my life, actually.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like I played baseball. I loved baseball, big baseball guy. But it was taking up too much time. Like I'd rather be out with the guys, you know, drinking and chasing. So I didn't do that very long. My stepdad, black guy, played. He's still black. Like,
oh, is he?
Yeah. It's not a Michael Jackson thing. Like, when I say my stepdad was black, it's not as if he's, you know, Sammy Sosa or anything like that. Right. He's just, you know.
Well, you can identify as anything. You can identify as anything nowadays.
True. But he taught me early on, like, basketball, not my thing. Because like he played in college. So for me growing up, playing basketball with him was me sitting under the goal, waiting on him to make the next shot so I can pass it to him.
Right.
While he does his woo, like he had this dance woo, and gets wow. That's all. That's my basketball experience. I'm like, well, this isn't for me. And that also was like, hey, you know what? You may be too slow and too white for football as well. Baseball is your calling. So that's why I picked that one. Because we didn't have golf yet. I would have played the hell out of some golf in high school. Right? Really? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, are you kidding? That's perfect.
My oldest loves it.
Oh yeah, dude. You get it. I mean, they give you a vehicle to go hold a hole with. You can drink. I don't know, maybe not then, but now, you know, that's a perfect game. But I can't swing with the shoulder thing. But yeah, dude, like I didn't high school. I barely graduated. I had to charm some asses to graduate. I literally was failing like 3 classes, and I had to go to them like, hey, look, like you don't want me back in here next year being a disruptant. You know what I mean? Like I'll still bring donuts on Monday, but seriously, dude, like we want to do this another year. And so most of them were like, yeah, all right. And they, you know, they got me out of there. Like 2 had to take a test or some form. It's not that I was dumb. It's just classes just got in the way of a lot of things. And then lo and behold, I went to aeronautics school in Oklahoma after high school.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Drank too much and smoked too much. So it wasn't there but a year. It was a good year though.
Was it?
Yeah.
But can you tell us anything about it?
About the school? Not really.
Or about that time?
About that time was interesting. Yeah. Like I loved flying. Never been in a plane before. Never had any desire to be in a plane. But one day in high school, like my senior year, they came to recruit, right? And they wouldn't let me sleep during their presentation. So I filled out the paperwork and I got accepted. Anyway, so yeah, I go. It's first time being away from home. I'm 9 hours away from home, right? In Tulsa. And I'm 17, right? I turned 18 after the school already started. And I loved, the first day they have you in a plane. I loved flying. It was a lot of fun. But I also love drinking and also like ladies. And right. So these things, like I had a platoon sergeant one time because all right. So the night before this big inspection, I went out with a couple girls. They saw me leave the barracks with them. And I may have been too drunk to do all the right things with the equipment for the inspection. Still passed. But because they saw me leave with the girls, right, I still got in trouble for whatever reason. I passed the inspection, but I still got in trouble from my platoon sergeant. He gives me this lecture, right? And he's like, you know, it don't matter like what decision it is in your life. It's always because of a woman, whether that be your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, your sister, whatever. Like it's always because of a woman. You can trace every decision you ever made. I was like, oh, that makes sense, except for why I joined the Army. But other than that, he didn't care for that. Because I joined for a free t-shirt. Like I was really? High. Oh, I was high. I worked at a timeshare resort after college. And the security guard and I would smoke weed and watch like Judge Hatchet and like Judge Joe Brown and stuff, right? In the middle of the night. And an Army commercial came on, and this was 04. Yeah. So they were like recruiting their asses off. Yeah. And they're like, hey, call 1-800 go Army and get a free t-shirt. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I want a free t-shirt. Never got the t-shirt. Anyway, man, these assholes. But
they got you a flag.
Yeah, so like that's the one thing like I had. I was like, well, not every decision, but yeah, most decisions though is probably going to be like they run our lives to a degree that most people aren't even aware of. Like they have all the power, and I say no more.
How much of an impact did being that your military career have on you from when you were younger?
I had no desire. Nothing I've ever decided to do in life makes any sense. Like I'd never put any thought into it.
Right.
At all. I again, never even been on a plane. Went to an aeronautics school. Never had any desire to be in the Army. They offered a free t-shirt. I signed up. Didn't have any desire to be a cop. They accepted me. I went. Right.
Right.
YouTube. I'm like, fuck that guy. He don't know what he's talking about. Now I'm on YouTube.
You said that you said that being on YouTube is kind of like being a kid again. Like, is it like a rediscovery of who you were?
No, well, no, it's more like what I meant, like with the whole, like I was more like this in high school. Is just the persona that I have on YouTube is a lot more loud and a lot more bombastic or like braggadocious. Your phone's vibrating in the middle of my interview.
Yep, turning it down. Sorry. I'm sorry.
And but then what I really am in real life, like it's funny because my girlfriend, sometimes I'll go and like get food or whatever, and they'll ask for a name, and I'll, for whatever reason, I'll say MadBarber. I'm like, no, that's not my name. Like it just slips out sometimes, but I'm not quite this. Like I don't hate women quite as much as what people may think when they see me on YouTube. Although my girlfriend, she hates women way more than I do. Let me tell you.
You've got to have an ego if you want to do this. So you've got to be able to protect, the sides of yourself.
Well, yeah, and it has to be tough, because these assholes in the chat looking at you, Wook, they'll eat you alive if you let them get to you. They see weakness. Oh man, let them have one thing. My God, I get fucking Hurt Locker fucking jokes to this day. They don't even know the reference anymore. Like they don't let shit die. But yeah, so you definitely have to either ignore the chat completely or be able to be like, whatever. So,
oh man, speaking of the chat, hail to you guys out there. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Soul Assassin says, don't the chief retire and become a rent-a-cop to return back? Soul Assassin also says, Matt's the only dude who annoys his superiors, questions everything, and laughs at cursed objects. Yeah,
that is true. I love Soul Assassin, man. He's one of my favorites, dude. That dude.
He's a great guy. Great guy in the chat. Love seeing him there. Let's see. Hey, Grant Gregory. What's up, Mr. Grant Gregory? Going to have him on Rogue this coming Saturday. Mad, I put extension out to you if you want to come on Rogue Entertainment this weekend with Mr. Grant Gregory. He says, hail, Matt Mardigan. Heard you got a shout out on erotic this morning.
Hold on. Culture got a shout out. My name happened to be by his name in the fucking super chat. Because I watched the clip. When it gets to Culture, he's like, oh man, I love Culture. Had dinner with him. Oh, Culture to this, Culture to that. He barely could pronounce my name. And I've been on streams with him. Whatever.
Good to see him. Eldritch Lord is here. He says, nice story. Thanks for sharing. My dad still won't talk about his time in Vietnam.
Yeah, look. Some guys, I get that too. I really do. Like there's aspects to it, and there's things that happen I won't talk about openly. Like, you know what I mean? Like on this, but like, I've talked about it to some guys in the back. But
all right. Science Fiction Audiobook says, question, did you develop your humor before the incident or as a coping method after, or both?
Oh man, I've always been hilarious. I think most of it really came to be when I got into improv, like finding that voice, you know what I mean? And so yeah, definitely like a lot of this is just things that I've done in improv before, like this character or whatever. Yeah, like I've always been funny. I know that's it's hard not to sound
arrogant.
Yeah.
Or something like, yeah, I get it.
But like, no, I've always been a funny guy, but improv really helped like hone a lot of that ability to just riff with somebody, to just go back and forth and build. I love it whenever like there's a bit going and we can build on it to make it better, like bigger and bigger. Because I guess I love seeing the structure of humor, the structure of like, of seeing how it works and how it builds and what it can grow into,
Mm-hmm. How did you get involved with improv?
I went.
You just,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about it.
Again, no decision I've ever made was like, let me sit down and think about things. Like my girlfriend, that's her. She researches, like if we're like, hey, we need to buy this. she's researching 18 different types, all the variations. I'm like on the toilet on Amazon, like, yep, this is the one. Done. So we balance each other. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't allow her to take 5 months of research while she doesn't let me just go, got it. Slide it.
Dig it. Let's see. Anybody else in the chat? Let's see. YetiCast says one benefit of burnt skin, much tougher.
Piss
skin.
off, Yeti.
That's what's where are you? Okay, we already covered that about your channel. What do you look forward to the most during the week in your interactions on YouTube?
Oh, what do I look forward to the most? I don't know if I put that much thought into what is to be. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's cliche, but it is for a reason. But like being present, being like, today is great because I'm doing this or whatever. I don't put too much stock into postponing my happiness, like waiting on something to come to make me happy. Like I really just like try to enjoy now. You know what I mean? Because like I'm gonna have like 8 different types of cancer eventually. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, yeah. Come on, dude. Everything you touch in the military is going to give you cancer. The shit says it. It's in, smoking and all kinds of other reasons for why I don't trust doctors. They don't trust me to tell them the truth because I lie to them. But I remember like there's this grease that you use on the 25 mic, and on like the tube of it, it'll say, "Don't let it touch the skin, or it will give you cancer." Not like it'll give you. And then you'd see dudes just covered in it, and you're like, "What are you doing, bro? Read the label." But no, like I enjoy doing the dump. I love my favorite part of the dump, and I'll go back and watch them. It's just the intro. That 60-second countdown with the
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, I love making fun of that too.
I love it. And one of my favorites is I hosted, and then Scott was back the next week. So that next week on that first like he tried to do it, and I tried to do it at the same time. And I'm like, what the? And he's all pissed because I was taking so good. But yeah, I really enjoy that. I enjoy doing Street Smarts with the guys. Dude, I just like hanging out with everybody, man. I just like enjoy just being able to, roll around the different channels that will have me.
Culture Casino says the correct answer is hanging with culture. So tell me, what are some of your tell me, what are some of your interests that that your audience might not know about? What things do you like?
Well, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I enjoy movies and cinema things, TV. Like to nerd out. No, I don't know things that I don't know, man. Like I'm pretty open about like what I like for the most part. Like I play Xbox, I watch movie, like TV. Oh, Severance on Apple TV.
Yeah,
one of the best shows I've seen in years. It is so good, so good. Yeah. Oh, and juxtapose that to Moon Knight, and you're like, oh wow, this is what acting is. This is what characters are supposed to be. Because Moon Knight, they're like, it's a character study. Like the fuck it is. But Severance, like every character is just layers upon layers of like real people in this fictitious, like weird world. The characters that they have are more real to life than anything you see in Marvel. My God.
Nice. Those are a recommended show in your opinion. What is it about?
Yeah. So basically, there's this company, that's like the biggest company in the world, right? Like, and it's been in like a part of America since like 1800s, right? And they have employees that they do what's called severance, where basically they put a chip in your brain that allows you to go to work but not remember any of it, right? Mm-hmm. And then so when you're done with work, you have no memory of what happened, and the part of you that is at work or whatever doesn't know anything about the outside. So you literally have like yourself like outside of work, and then you have an entirely different person.
Really?
That is you, that is at work for these, 8 hours or whatever. And then this company's weird as shit. There's goats. Like that doesn't make any sense, but you see it, you're like, oh, I get the goat thing now. But like it's weird. It's great. And it's directed by Ben Stiller. And Ben Stiller does such a great job of the uncanny of like that like Hitchcock kind of a thing where like it's a normal situation, but everything like the mood and like the way it's shot and just like the atmosphere is just a little off to where like you're like uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable with it. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I don't like it. You know, it makes me feel weird. Something's happening, kind of a thing. And yeah, real big fan of that show.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, what is there? Do you have any favorite genres of movies or television?
Noir. I'm a big noir guy. Love noir, man. I mean, going back to what was it called? Damn it. Oh man, somebody help me out, dude. Like it starts off with like the longest one shot you'll see. Like where like in the camera works amazing. It's on a crane and like zooms in on this dude that has a bomb, and then you see him put in the car, and you're following an entirely different couple as they're walking. It's like on the border of Mexico, and then the car with the bomb is going, and it's all one shot. And it's just this town, and there's just a ton of people. Forgot what it's called, but it's great. It's a great opening. But I watched Severance. Yeah, dude. It's great.
It's apparently the goats is a thing. He said the Men Who Stare at Goats was fun.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Based on a true story. No, not Sicario. Oh, that's an old movie, but amazing one shot. Yes. Yeah, Kai.
I do, Kai. I do. I promise I do.
Man, what? But anyway, yeah. So noir, I love like L.A. Confidential. It's a great noir. It's a neo noir. I love that one. Mm-hmm. Like I like a lot of noir. Not so much like the typical like detective. Like I like those too. You know what I mean? Where you have the femme fatale or whatever they call them. Femme fatale, is that it? Did I hit that?
No,
doesn't matter. Sure. It's a woman, so who cares? Yeah. But you have the detective, and he's like, you know, he's like on his last leg. There's no R's in LA Confidential. What do you mean, Madwar? I don't know what that means. No R's. Like fatatas, like.
Hello, but Yeticat says, Matt, I hate I'm going to have to reveal this, but his favorite movie is The Notebook.
Wow, you could have done better than that. Now I got to look up that movie. It's going to drive me crazy until I find it.
Yep, go find it. Hail to the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you. What's up, Mirror Spheres? Good to see you, man. Thank you. Guys, Mirror Sphere is going to be coming out with a book here pretty soon. Not sure if he's going to do a general release or an Indiegogo, but we're going to have Mirror Spheres on to talk about that. And can't wait to help him present that to the community. Thank you guys out there so much for supporting one another. Please share out the stream. Most of all, share out links for MadBarber Entertainment. Let's get this man to 1,000 and spread the love, spread the joy. Hail to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
What was so the other director, old guy? Well, you know, oh man, like one of oh, my favorite director is this. Oh, femme fatale. Yeah, I was close enough.
I was going to say fatale, and I wasn't confident enough to actually say it.
No one is.
Lord Hauser says, I thought his favorite movie was Bridget Jones.
What? Never seen Bridget Jones. Has anyone?
I've never have.
That's the one with what's her name from
the squeaky one from Me, Myself, and I, isn't it?
Jerry. Or Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Man, true. Yeah. I'm going through a list of. See this? Oh man, whatever. I was going through a list of like the best one shot things, and then wasn't even listed.
Those bastards. They're trying to keep it. You're going to remember the moment the stream's over.
I know. I guarantee, like, I have, like, oh, man. You know what? I'll tell y'all something that I don't like about me. I make playlists way too much. I have so many fucking playlists with, like, and some of them have the same shit on it, but I'll forget where I put something. So I started a new playlist and put it on there. And now I have, like, hundreds of playlists with. So then I started doing it about a month, right? So like I just started one today that was May 2022 because April I've already had and it has 30 different, songs or videos on YouTube, and so frustrating.
He says Touch of Evil.
That's it. I think. There you go. Yeah. Touch of Evil, which was directed by. That was when you were supposed to say, "Hey, yeah, Touch of Evil. Thank you very much."
Thank you very much, Zach. Appreciate you, brother.
I would have never got it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you. What advice would you give to an up and coming creator?
Don't.
Just don't do it.
No. Hold on. I'm trying to find the director of.
Okay. Oh, go right ahead.
Touch of Evil, real quick.
He's at Orson Welles.
Yes, that's the guy. Remember when I said it was the old guy? That's what I meant.
There's a lot of old guys.
Yeah.
But
I always knew it was one of those guys. But yeah, no, that's a great scene. What advice? Don't do it for the money. You're not gonna make it. Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying you're not gonna make it. I'm just saying, like, I think people will get too wrapped up into the monetization and like making a living out of it, because then it becomes a job. Which I don't know about you in your history with jobs, but jobs can suck a lot of time. But yeah, so for me, like, I guess do whatever it is that I think I will enjoy more so than trying to play to the crowd.
Or the algorithm.
Or, dude, I don't even tag my fucking videos. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's too much effort. Grant, when Grant first came on with us, like, he's like, set up all these playlists. I don't have shit in playlists. The other night I was gonna be a good guy, like a good YouTuber, and get all Street Smarts into a Street Smart playlist. But what happened was I only got like half of them in the right playlist because I had another one that was a slight variation of the spelling of Street Smarts for videos that I wanted to check out for Street Smarts. So half of them went into that one, which is private. But then I have this other one, and I'm like, well, I gave it a shot. I'll get back to it sometime.
You're putting effort into it.
I gave it a shot, man. And like, I'll tag a video every once. Like, if somebody basically forces me into tagging a video, I'm like, fine. I don't even know what to tag it. Tag like half the stuff I did. There's no tags for this, and I feel like most of my content is just that feeling of people like it or they don't.
Right.
Oh, so here we go. I see you in the chat. I have the playlist. I will add things to it. Whatever.
Oh shit. Well, see, you said I've learned today that you're kind of just a person who goes with the flow and just have no reason for what you're doing.
No.
So I guess this is kind of redundant. I don't know how useless this question is. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Sure. Hopefully not still in this apartment. My God. So the girlfriend, when she got her PhD in translational science, we were going to be moving for her to take another job at a different university, right? But then the vid happened. And so we've been like this holding pattern in this 1-bedroom apartment. I shit you not, I'm doing this from the island in our kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And the girlfriend loves having all these fucking Elgato wave panels hung up in the kitchen. But luckily the vid, so nobody came over. Well, there had been people to come over, but she's just like, because I got lights. I got lights on the island, a computer, monitor, just everything, just like it on the island. Like I save about a quarter of the island so that we can put food, because she don't cook. So that we can put our DoorDash orders out on that island.
Important.
But it's like this much room. And oh man, can't let it build up because you're not gonna have room anymore, But yeah, so I'm hoping in 5 years I can have an office of some sort, Her too, because like I got her. So she works from home all the time now too, right? But she has to do it all from the bed. So she's just sitting on the bed with her computer. So yeah. So we gotta figure like if we're gonna stay here or if we're actually gonna move. So if we're gonna stay here, we need to upgrade. But everything is expensive, man.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It's a difficult time, man. It's all the prices shot up. God, I can't even tell you. I have to think about if I'm going to take the car out, because of the gas prices now. It's just.
Oh, I don't know. Nah, that's not a concern.
Yeah.
Like, I'm lucky that so I have my disability, right? And it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have my girlfriend who I'm not gonna say is like a sugar mama, but like her income allows me to just like spend mine basically on whatever I like this mic and dude, this is like the third stand I had to buy this month because like because I had a cheap one and then I got like almost a $200 one, but it. Oh, I hated that thing. It was a pain in the ass because to set up in the first place. And then I broke off a little piece that was screwing in there and I broke that off. So I had to just get another one. But luckily, because I have her, I can just spend money like, oh, dude. And then I get it on Amazon, man. Like, it's bad. I got a didgeridoo from Amazon
you got
one time.
Didgeridoo.
Yeah, can't play for shit because I can't do that breathing thing where you can still breathe as you're making it. Can't do it for shit. Fun fact though, there's like four of the MadBarber boys that all have didgeridoos for whatever reason. One day I brought it up, and then Culture got his, Barber got his, and then I forgot who the last one. I think Kip had one too, and we're like, why do we all have didgeridoos? This makes no sense. But yeah. Best thing, not the best thing. I was doing a podcast before I did YouTube with a few guys. It was like this improv thing. They're younger than me though, but real silly, dumb stuff, right? Real dumb. Like I know you look at my channel and like, but it was fun. But I had an idea for a podcast, right? It was called Whittle Me This. And what the conceit is that I would have people come over, and I had one of the guys, Brad. I had Brad come over, and we would whittle as we do an interview, but improv, right? So my name was Winchester Worthington Rifle the Third. I forgot what dumb name I came up for my character, right? And I don't know what his character was. So we started whittling as we do this fake interview, and I don't know if you've ever whittled before, but it wears your arms out immediately. You're like, oh, and you're trying to do improv on top of this. My God. When I always had that block, I think he has it. But like when I was done, I had just a little chips right here and then lines that I was drawing with what I wanted. Because what I wanted to do, this is a deep cut. Have you ever seen Lonesome Dove?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Danny Glover in that movie, right? He was a whittler, right? And he whittled this like Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, right? Mary. And I was like, ooh, I want to whittle that. Ooh, I cannot whittle that. I'm not an artistic person at all. It didn't go well at all. I did one episode and never did it again. Still have the wood chipping things. What are you looking for? She had that smirk on her face like she was going to do something weird.
Uber Eats.
But, so I bought weird things on Amazon from time to time. What else? It's dumb stuff, man. At least with YouTube though, like when I buy things now, there's a purpose for it.
So she's giving you some direction in life.
Yeah.
Good. Hail to her. Oh man,
it's more keeping me in line. Like, before control. Her. Holy shit, dude! Because I had nothing to do, so a lot of but I was doing improv and did other things, and there was these groups or whatever for meetup, and then I would also just drink like a lot. I haven't had anything to drink in I don't know how long, man. It's been married. Watch your mouth there, Banana Facts. I see you. Ain't happening. Well, we both been down there when neither one of us is interested in doing that. Hold on, let me see what else he's looking for.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you guys so much for being here. We're not going to be going too much longer. We have some great streams coming up. I think Etipakuna, the place to be reviews. It's going to be going live later. If you are coming from Tommy the Guinea Big Collective or have not been there yet, please check out his Going Old School, which is a show that is airing right now. Support your independent creators out there, y'all, whether they're, no matter what lunch table they sit at, no matter who they friends with, no matter who's with who, we are all here to, we're all here to grow, support one another, have our voice heard. Thank you to everybody in the chat for supporting us. Please share out links from Mad Mardigan's MadBarber's channel. Appreciate you.
So she found it.
She found it.
Yeah, that's what she was looking for. So if you can see, like, I kind of on the sides here, you can't see the lines on it. But like, yeah, that is as much whittling as I did before I was like, we're fucking done. We're done with this.
No longevity in that, that craft. Man.
Oh man, it smells strong. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this like a Patreon like gift. I don't I don't do Patreon, but like if I ever have a membership. Like if I have members, this is gonna be like, oh, at the top level, I'll send you this.
You get the wood. You make it like an icon that you put in the chat.
That one time that you'll never get to listen to the podcast, but you heard me tell the story once. Congratulations.
Do you have any upcoming live streams, podcasts, anything you want to advertise?
Dude, no. So for the rest of the week, I'm gonna be not around that much until next Monday. But yeah, next week, we'll have Street Smarts on Wednesday and Saturday. And then the dump, I'm over there on the Wednesday and the Saturday. And I do speakeasy every once in a while, but now everybody wants to come in on my time, on my speakeasy time, Kai, and do like 9-hour fucking streams. And I don't want to take away from them because I do mine randomly, like whenever I feel. Oh, I do want to do one tonight though, because I have this video that who are they called? Screen Crush, something like this, right? Mm-hmm. They put out a video saying Wanda, whatever the fuck her name, Scarlet Witch, did nothing wrong when she kidnapped that town and held them against. Did nothing wrong, and I started watching. And I'm just screaming like, what? So I want to EFAP the shit out of it because my God, it was insane. Because then he was like, well, Tony Stark, all he does is run away from his problem. He doesn't, one of the things he said was like, because superheroes, when they have a lot of power, they process things differently than us. So it's okay that her process meant her taking over an entire town and keeping them against their will, because that's how she processed the death of Vision, which was Tony's fault.
Mm-hmm. Tony's fault. How was that Tony's fault?
Well, because yeah.
Okay. we're gonna discuss this tonight. Mr. Grant Gregory says we're gonna do it tonight, man.
Yep.
All right. What time?
No idea what time.
How long before? You don't know what time yet?
Yeah, it'll be after what day is it? Oh, I have I think I'm on Yelling at Parked Cars tonight with comics.
Oh, good shit, man.
I love comics, and I'll tell you why. Months ago, I started this bit before I was ever on the show, right? About me stalking him. I'm like, look at him through his window, or like being in his bush outside of his house.
I remember, yeah.
And that shit has gone on for so long, and I keep finding a new ways. Like he went to go see him. I forgot what, maybe it was Spider-Man, but I was like, no, I just watched you watch it from behind because he lives close to me, right, in real life. And so I was like, no, I found we were supposed to see it together, but I couldn't make it. And so I was like, fuck it, I still went, but I didn't let you. I just wanted to see you watch it, and it's been great, dude. Like, oh man, it's that one's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, those guys are good guys over there. Comics
dude,
everybody.
Listen, I had no idea if he was gonna see the humor in my bit, because he didn't know who I was. I just threw it out there, and he ran with it, and he'll bring it up before I ever bring it up, which is crazy to me. People just randomly bring it up, even in other fucking streams. People will bring up me stalking him. Look at Twitter. Look, all the retweets is me in the bush by his house. They have my picture.
Yeah,
man, great. I ain't said shit about it. You know what I mean? But so it was great because there are some people, I'm not gonna say any names, but there are a couple people that I've been on the stream with, big channels, who just do not get me at all. Which I understand not everybody does, but I guess because I'm just doing my thing. I'm throwing out jokes, and they're not getting them, and they don't like them, and I'm like, what do I do? Well,
what do you do?
I found my peak. There's no way I can.
Just thank you.
That's my ceiling.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, brother. I greatly appreciate it, guys. Please subscribe to MadBarber Entertainment. Support this man over here, and you're gonna have a good time.
Real quick,
go ahead.
I was looking for a motto for the MadBarber Boys, and so I came up with, and Yeti has it there: "Dick in, dick out, MadBarber Boys for life." Bro, I didn't even know, because then Grant hit me up and he did it was like a gift of like blood in, blood out. You know, it's like Vos Vocals for life, SA. I'm like, oh, that's where I got it from. I didn't even realize I got Dick out from blood in, blood out. I just came up with it one day. But yeah, man.
It's incredible, man. Thank you so much for all the laughs. Thanks for being around, dude. I'm always entertained when I see you on stream. And thank you very much for coming today.
No, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, hail to you. Thank you so much for coming and supporting. Throw out links for his channel, and wait for that live stream. It's going to happen later on tonight. And thank you guys so much for being here. Be good to each other. Support one another.